Hey everyone, welcome back to another video and another episode of 5 awesome mods to download. This is episode 3 of the PlayStation 4 mods series, and as always, with these mods on the PlayStation 4, they are also available on the Xbox as well. So you can find both the Xbox links and the PlayStation links in the description below. And of course, if you want to check out the previous episodes that I have done, you can find them linked below as well in the form of a playlist. Also, quick reminder, today is the last day of the Amazon gift card giveaway. I am going to be announcing the winners in my next video, but I will be choosing them today, and all you have to do to enter is subscribe. That is literally it. 2 winners will actually be chosen, one for the more recent subscribers and one for people who have already been subscribed for a while, and more information about that at the end of the video. But for now, let's jump straight into the video. And coming in for the first mod today, we have Sanctuary Hot Springs Home and Settlement by Sympathy. Now this mod is basically a detailed, lore-friendly hot spring settlement located just outside of Sanctuary. So I guess it's somewhat of an addition to Sanctuary itself. And you'll find at the very back of Sanctuary a bit of a pathway that you can go down that will then lead you to the hot springs. Now an interesting fact about this is that both for the exterior and the interior, which we'll get more into the interior here shortly, but none of the items in there are actually static. As you know, with a lot of player home mods, most of the time a lot of the stuff inside of there has been created with OC Decorator. And the reason for that is to make the place look a lot more lived in. So it's a bit of an interesting one with this player home. I mean, the exterior looks really cool in my opinion. It's just one of those really neat additions to the game, especially Sanctuary as well, in terms of the hot springs in the outside, as you can see there, and just generally how it looks. And as for the interior, it's a little bit messy, not gonna lie, but I do actually enjoy it, especially sort of the glass panels with the water underneath, and also the garage door that comes down on the side, where you can have, it basically showing water behind glass, or you can have it so it's shut as well. So it's pretty cool on the interior. Of course, as always, with player home mods, you have different areas with different stuff in, such as the workshop rooms. In what I guess is the workshop rooms, you will have, different types of workbenches, a lot of loot sort of cluttered and scattered around. And the thing with this player home mod is it almost feels like it's a part of the game. It just feels like it was meant to be here from the beginning, and it sort of just was here because of the non-static items that are in here. So again, in different areas, you'll find a lot of stuff that you can actually physically loot if you want to. Again, moving on here, you have, your own bedroom area with, storage containers and stuff like that in. Again, it doesn't look as decorated and as neat as some of the other player homes, but it is still pretty cool nonetheless. Another cool thing that the mod author has stated is that it's intended to be a very quiet and relaxing part of Sanctuary. So happiness levels are disabled and attacks are also disabled for this area. So any settlers that you send here, either for the exterior or the interior, will not leave or become unhappy. And for some of the final things to touch up on, it's a bit of a quest as well. I wouldn't say quest, it's just to actually get inside of here, you need to find a key. And to actually find the key, you'll find a note on the chair in the exterior part on the outside that will pretty much tell you where to go. I'm not going to really spoil too much, but there is a place or a new location just above Vault 111 that you can go to. And you can go ahead and get the key from there and then bring it back. And then of course you do have access to the interior for Hot Springs itself. In general, I thought this was a pretty cool player home mod that some of you guys out there would definitely enjoy. So again, if you enjoy this one, check it out in the description below. And that leads us into the next mod of the video, a very small one. This episode is going to be based around some of the smaller type of mods, and this is known as Sanctuary Bridge Fix by Loki. Pretty much a self-explanatory mod. I mean, it's just there to fix the Sanctuary Bridge, make it look new and fresh and not broken in its original form. This mod was actually suggested to me by one of you guys in my previous video, and if you guys have any mod suggestions of your own that you think are pretty cool, leave them in the comment section. You never know, I might actually feature them in the video. But for mods like this, again, although it is very small, it's just one of those small changes that you can add to your game, and one of those things that you can really appreciate in my opinion. So if you are into small little changes like this, then this mod may definitely be for you. And that leads us into the next mod, which is Water Redux by Laminates. Now, Water Redux is an immersive graphics modification to retweak the water of the wasteland as appropriate for lore and style. It does this by making the water more realistic in many ways, as it would naturally appear, and certainly as it would appear 200 years after the bombs fell. Some water is much cleaner with more clarity and visibility, other pools have remained stagnant, and some have even become more dirty. As the mod currently stands, there is a couple of features to note down here. Number one is the water clarity. So the water clarity from the surface is increased so that you can see further into the water, but visibly still tapers off with depth. You can definitely see that as a comparison shown on screen. Again, the gameplay doesn't completely give this justice, so it is best that you download and try this. And again, bear in mind that it is a work in progress and things are going to get better as well. In terms of water clarity, again, in some of the areas this effect is more noticeable than others, primarily areas where the water is assumed to be cleaner, giving off a more realistic effect in general. Another thing that this mod has changed is the underwater visibility. So in dirty areas, you're going to notice that it's kind of the same. It's a little bit clearer than usual. Again, in the clearer areas where you would think that there would be clearer water, it's going to be a lot clearer as well in the underwater areas. So again, going back to the realism here, this is one of the only mods that really changes the water in Fallout on the PlayStation 4. So in my opinion, it's very, very cool. Some of the future features that he has mentioned here is that there's going to be more diverse water, more diverse radiation effect types, and more diverse wave patterns with the ocean swells in specific areas. So that's some of the future updates that you can expect with this mod. So if you're a fan of water mods, definitely check this one out. In my opinion, one of the best out there right now. Coming up for the next mod, we have Simple Survival by Worlds. Now, if you're somebody out there who doesn't like all of the extra additions to survival mode, of course with the crazy addictions and stuff like that, and just in general some of the other additions, then this mod may be for you. Now, don't get me wrong, I like survival mode the way it is. I've completed a full playthrough on survival mode and I genuinely enjoyed it. But this mod adds a bit of a simple alternative to that, where into the natural game, no matter what difficulty you are on, from easy to very hard, it basically adds the need to eat, drink, and sleep, which basically increases immersion and actually gives meaning to all of that useless food that you have sitting around. So again, it's basically, one chunk of survival mode ripped out and put into the base game for you guys to enjoy, and of course increases immersion as well. So pretty basic one. It's definitely one that I think some of you guys out there will enjoy if you don't like the extra additions that survival mode has to offer. And to get started with this, once you have downloaded and enabled the mod, you'll find a chest just outside of Vault 111. Now, inside of this chest will be an item known as Simple Survival Activator, and when you loot this, it basically adds a perk to your character known as Simple Survival, which adds debuffs to your character when you haven't recently slept, drank, or eaten. There's also another item in here known as the Bottle Activator, and when you basically loot this as well, it enables you to refill empty bottles at water sources. Again, being a little bit more realistic and adding more immersion to the base game rather than just in survival mode. Going back to the drink, eating, and sleeping part, whenever these debuffs are added, you will receive a pop-up message informing you that you need to eat or drink or sleep to get rid of these debuffs. All foods and drinks last for different periods of time, ranging from 10 real-time minutes to 30 real-time minutes, depending on rarity and weight and the type of food that you've got. Generally speaking, food that you can craft lasts the longest, and also ice cold drinks also last the longest as well. Of course, with purified water being the best option out of all of the drinks. The mod itself also has a few small things here and there to add to the realism in general and stuff like that. But as the title suggests, it's just a simple survival alternative for you guys out there if you are into stuff like this. So pretty cool one that I think is personally awesome. And now let's move on to the final mod. So for the final mod of the video, we have Dry Wasteland Work in Progress by Seabass. So as the mod title suggests, it's a work in progress, and what this mod does is it completely removes the water from Fallout 4. Now you may be asking, well, why would you want that? Well, this mod really only tailors to a specific set of people that really want to sort of explore the underwater areas in a different and more detailed way, I guess you could say. As you can see from the gameplay in the background, with Remove Water, you can go ahead and explore the ocean like you never have before and really get into detail and see what really is down there. So although this mod completely breaks immersion and removes water from the game entirely, it's one of those things that you can have a little bit more fun with when you're bored. Maybe you've completed the game and you've sort of explored most of the areas and you really want to explore the water. Well, this is where this mod comes in and allows you to explore it a little bit better. You'll notice that in some of the deeper areas that the water is still there, and that also inland as well, some of the ponds and some of the water around there is also still there as well. So that's why at this moment in time it is a work in progress. It does have a few bugs and stuff like that as well, but it's one to keep your eyes on. You know, if you are a fan of exploring the underwater areas very differently, definitely keep your eyes on this one as it does update in the future. And that, my friends, is today's episode of 5 awesome mods to download on the PlayStation 4. As always, if you guys did enjoy this episode today and do want to see this continuing every week, be sure to leave a like down below, guys. Your support, of course, is always greatly appreciated on the channel. Also, let me know any mods that you suggest in the comment section below that you think are pretty cool for the PlayStation 4, and I may also feature them in the next episode as well. Also, just to say this again, today is the last day of the giveaway. 2 winners are going to be chosen today. So after this video goes live, the winners will then be chosen and they'll be announced next video. But you can go ahead and check your YouTube inboxes to see if you are the winner. Just make sure that you go to Creator Studio and go to Community and then Messages. And that's pretty much the way I'm going to be messaging the winners. Or alternatively, if you do have an email, you know, attached to your account, I should be able to message that as well if you don't have that stuff enabled. But either way, all you have to do to enter that is subscribe. So if you want to enter, now is your last chance. Again, as always, hope you enjoyed the video. Subscribe if you're new, and I will catch you guys next time with a brand new video. Peace out.